What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Test Your Might, the weekly video game debate show. My name is Mike, and today we will be discussing Activision getting some full-time positions for their QA department, Unreal 5, and the franchises that need LEGO games. But first, let me introduce you to the panel. We have none other than the Mafia Lord himself. I must apologize because my parents didn't come over, so I didn't say hi to my mom. Cicero
Excuses.
Holmes, how you doing?
I'm doing great, but you know what? Give her a call and say hi to your mother for me.
All right, I'll give her a call.
Yeah, please.
Now there's no excuses next time.
When I get in the car, oh no.
Nah, you don't. Yeah, that's Boston. Yeah, you can get in the car. You can just get in the car.
I gotta find my cat keys first.
Don't try. Yeah.
My khakis or my cockies? Anyway,
I don't know. You guys are smart packing. Get out of here.
That is none other than Justin Rubber Duck. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing okay. I've been looking forward to this. I know we took a week off, got a little news episode out, but I'm ready to debate. Let's get it.
Yes, I'm very excited, and listeners, I hope you are excited as well. So please, would you be so kind to leave us a review? We would love and appreciate you for that. If you're on Spotify, you can leave us a 5-star rating, but only on mobile apps, so please go ahead and do that as well as leave a review on Apple Podcasts. We would love to read it on the show and get your take on how we're doing over here. And if you are watching us here on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. It's free. It takes one click of your time. It is very, very simple. So, a little bit of housekeeping for you. We do have a small news episode that Justin already alluded to from Cicero and myself, where we mainly talked about E3 being canceled, but most importantly, the PlayStation Plus new subscription tier model. Spoiler alert, we thought it should be 2 tiers. I think that's what we landed on here. So go listen to the episode, listen to our full thoughts, and take a gander at that. And now, we got something big for you guys. We wanted to give you a small tease of what is going to be happening that we already teased, me and Cicero, in our small news episode. And Cicero, would you like to just tell us what is happening at the beginning of the month of May that we could let our listeners know and give them a little sneak peek?
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, just want to tell you that sometimes you want to feel like there's a saying: if you look good, you feel good. And we've felt good because we've looked good. But if you look great, we'll feel great. and we're about to look great. Some big things are coming your way, not only for this show, but for everything that you know us to be. Big things are coming.
Yeah, so Cicero alluded to we're doing a big rebrand. So stay tuned for that. We're not giving you any details today. We got a plan of when we're going to be giving those details out. But me and the crew here at the 90s First thought that it'd be best to switch things up. So we are moving in the rebrand route, and so stay tuned for that. In the coming weeks, we'll be revealing the new name, new logo, everything that is going into this, and we're really, really excited. Justin, you excited about this rebrand?
You know, this isn't something that we just thought of one day. We have been working on this for a very long time and perfecting it to make sure it's perfect for everyone, including us. So excited. You guys should be too. Big things coming soon.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. And so stay tuned for all of that within our 90s First episodes, as well as our Test Your Might episodes. We're going to be talking about it in the next coming weeks. So thank you guys for all your support, all your listens, all your clicks. We couldn't be doing this without you. And once again, we appreciate you guys so much. And so, like I teased back in our previous news episode here, we every single week on Test Your Might specifically, I know we did a 90s First review of the Halo premiere, but in Test Your Might, since it's a video game show, we're going to be kind of doing a Halo check-in each and every week. So this week would have been Halo Episode 3. Cicero, did you get a chance to watch this one?
I have.
You have? Okay. So what are your
it.
thoughts just on this episode and like where you see the direction of the show going?
I have no idea where this show is what direction this show is going in.
We got a little bit
I love the fact that I don't know though, right?
I did mean like, do you like the direction that it's going so far? I meant that.
yes, I do like the direction that it's going. I will say that there are in this episode in particular, I would offer a trigger warning for people. There is a conversion of sorts, and it is quite graphic, right? Like without really saying much more about it, but outside of that, I think
what you're talking about.
Right. Outside of that, I think that what that scene and what happens pretends for the rest of the show is really, really awesome. And I like the fact that I just don't really know where we're going.
Yeah.
Right? I know the universe, but I don't know this story, and that's what's cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Justin, just overall thoughts of episode 3.
The show in my rating system is probably a B- so far. Maybe a C+. It is a hard drama. It's good. It's very good. It draws you in. With episode 3, I am pleased to say that after watching it, I did want to go back and watch it again because the emotions from the games, for myself anyway, just started flooding in. And I enjoyed every moment of it. And
Pun intended, maybe.
Yeah.
maybe not. I did enjoy it. I did like the direction they went with Cortana. I like the way she looks. I like the way she speaks to Master Chief and how kind of standoffish he is. I like that, and I really do enjoy the inner workings of the relationship that's being formed as we watch as an early Cortana and Chief relationship. I do like that, and it is starting to point the direction of kind of where it's going in a sense, which I like. Instead of episode 2 was a very low episode on the rating list for me, and this was a refresher, and I really liked it.
Sure.
Yeah, so as Justin said, Jen Taylor does come back as Cortana, which is really cool that they got the original voice. And I think that truly is going to... I think it's going to make the show somewhat special. I really do. Like, the fact that you have this kind of like new chief, this new take on him, but you have this sense of familiarity with Jen Taylor, with Jen Taylor's Cortana. And... Cicero, I'm with you. I'm loving this ride so far, actually. And this episode, to me, although the series has not been perfect so far and not everything that I thought the series was going to be, man, I am hitting with this helmetless Master Chief so much more with Cortana. And I'm there for it. I really am. Like I think this, even though it's in a universe that we love, that we care about, that we've played all the games, that we've played countless hours of multiplayer, I love that they could take this new twist, this new angle, and give us something fresh, but also with the addition of Cortana, bring it into a sense of familiarity as well for those who love the games. And I personally loved episode 3. I think that the way that I've said this on podcast before on our premiere review as well as on the Infinity Bros over there. I now like the establishment of how they're handling Chief's humanity in this particular series, and I'm all for it. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good show. I think it's going to end up being awesome. I think that our patience is certainly going to pay off as far as action and like seeing Chief in the helmet and seeing Chief be the the BA chief that we know him to be. So
Sure.
I'm really excited.
I definitely agree. I think they confirmed 9 episodes for the first season. So at this point, we're a third the way through, and I'm pleasantly getting more and more accustomed to enjoying it. So
yeah, it's I mean, the thing that's really interesting is how dense the show has become. Like just in 3, like if you think about it, like we've just watched 3 episodes and it feels like a lot more. I feel like we're in episode 5.
Oh yeah.
At this point.
yeah, the lore is very deep in this. But it's presentable and accessible for people that never even watched or played the games. And I like that.
Which, in contrast to what you just said, Cicero, is that, like, you know, some of the pop culture stuff that we've been watching, especially with Disney Plus's MCU stuff, has been 6 episodes, and so it just feels extremely compact, and what they have to do in the amount of time that they have seems rather unnecessary. Like, extended a couple more episodes, which is what is going to, in my opinion, feel really good about this Halo series, is that you got those 3 extra episodes to kind of like fill in the blanks and be able to actually have the time to explore and implement this lore that we want to experience. And so I needed episode 3 to hit me really hard, because let me tell you, Moon Knight is amazing, and I really wanted Halo to start being amazing, and I think it really did. So that is our Halo check-in. Tune in next week for episode 4, small review. Again, we're just doing check-ins, and then we will actually have a full series review under our new name when the finale happens. So, all right, Cicero, let's go your way. What have you been playing?
I have played about 2 innings of MLB The Show.
There you go.
On Game Pass, available on Game Pass, and it looks and feels great. But one thing that I am disappointed with, it seems like they have not carried over. I know they didn't carry it over from the old platform to the new platforms. Is the ability to carry your My Player, your Road to the Show, the kind of the RPG mode of these baseball games, your player over from one iteration of the game to the next iteration of the game. And that is something that they had in previous consoles. And, you know, I had a guy that, like, I think I've said on the show, that I had been playing with for 7 years, and then had to get rid of because of the last version of MLB The Show, but was content in the fact that I assumed that this new person that I built, I'd be able to take on with me through next versions of the game, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. I don't even really understand why, because you're able to save your data in the cloud, right? In MLB The Show's cloud. So I can take my Road to the Show character, all of my information from my Xbox to my PlayStation, and now to my Switch via the cloud. So if I buy 3 versions of the game, I can play all of my stuff on 3 different platforms or 3 different consoles.
That's crazy.
So yeah, right. So like, if I'm able to do that, why can't I carry over my character? Because it's still just data.
Yeah.
So at that point, they haven't added that many new features, and definitely they've added new features in previous iterations, and they figured out ways to make all of that stuff work with your Road to the Show character. So I was very disappointed with that, and as a result, I just haven't gone back and played it. Most of my time that I've been spending gaming in the last week or so has been with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. But the last time I played it, it was a brand new game for me, and this is why. So when I first got the game, you have the choice of playing the game in performance or resolution modes, right? And I decided to play it in performance mode because it's a shooter. You want everything to move smoothly and what have you. and it was great. It looked great. It moved great. Everything was fine. Then one day, last time I played, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try resolution mode just to see what it looks like. And then it was a brand new game.
I was literally on the phone with you when you switched.
I restarted the game because you have to restart it in order to do it. And the amount of detail that is missed when you're playing it in performance mode. I think in performance mode, it is a 1080p resolution that they up-res to 4K. But it ain't the same, folks. Let me tell you, it ain't the same. If you know, and the game doesn't really at this point. Usually, you can tell the difference between 30 frames and 60 frames. You can definitely tell the difference between 60 frames or 30 frames and 120 frames. But I think this is supposed to run at 60. It was definitely running at 60 in performance mode. It doesn't really seem like it's running any slower now. But let me tell you, whoa. Right? Good, like huh? It looks incredible. The colors are more vibrant. It's far greater detail in your, like, the things that you see, which are your weapons, your guns, and the guns are very inventive. So being able to see the details in the things and how they were drawn is incredible to see. So putting it in resolution mode is the way to go. You've got a nice 4K display with HDR. Please do yourself a favor and play that game in resolution mode. That is, mwah. That's it. That's what I've been playing.
Justin, what have you been playing?
You know, I've been waiting since 2019 for this game to come out. And finally, my next Lego game was released. And I'm talking about the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game. And wow. It takes a lot to dethrone Lego Lord of the Rings in my top list. But this does it with flying colors. This is the best Lego game I've ever played. And the most immersive and the most depth in any Lego game I've ever played. It's got voice acting. It's got all 9 films. It's got so many collectibles. You don't even know what to do with them. You know, I've played for about, I think, 7 hours total. I'm through the first 2 trilogies. I haven't gone onto the new one yet. And I barely scratched the surface in collectibles in this game. There is so much to collect and so much to do. I'm going to be playing this for a while, and I'm enjoying every second of it. It completely revamps the entire Lego saga that I used to play, the old collection of the first 6 films. And it's one of a kind, man. I'm blown away by the amount of detail, how it looks, the fluidity of this game, how you just take cover when you're using a gunplay character, how you can use lightsabers and do combos, and it feels like, you know, it's almost, I'm dare to say, it's the best Star Wars game I've ever played. And that's crazy. Wow. It's a Lego game, and I'm thinking it's the best Star Wars game I've ever played.
Wow.
It takes me back to Star Wars Battlefront 2 with the aesthetic of, you know, going through areas and seeing the tanks and seeing, you know, droids and all the enemies and co-op players walking around. It's insane, the depth of this game. The visuals alone are just ridiculous. It makes you think it's running on Unreal like 5. It looks so good for a Lego game. And most people are like, you know, Legos look good no matter what. It's like Minecraft. You know, how can you make it look better? They do a lot. And the dry humor, the Lego humor that you've come to know to love in Lego games, man, it touches your soul. It's so good. If you know the saga of Skywalker, you're going to get all those references, all those jokes and those cutscenes, even outside of cutscenes with character dialogue. You're going to get all that and then some. And it's just, it blows you away. It really does. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a phenomenal game. And I'm talking about the old school one, not the new one that EA produced. And this is better than that. You know, you get space combat, you get Planet combat. You get all of the stories, all the humor, all wrapped into a bundle, and it's phenomenal. So that's what I've been playing. 5 out of 5 stars over here for that game, and I'm not even done with it. And I know I'm going to collect everything. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
It's easy, fun, and family friendly.
So much work.
Nice.
I heard that there's a glitch in there that you can't lightsaber kids. So when you try to lightsaber a kid, apparently you just fly around the map.
Yes, juggle time, baby.
Well, I haven't tried to do that because I'm not a Sith, but and when Order 67 came out, 66. That's a gag if you get to that part in the game.
Yes.
You don't see it on screen, but you know what's happening. You're a fan, you know what's happening.
Right.
Awesome. I have it installed. I'm looking forward to trying it myself. So I have been playing a little game called Tunic, and I did beat it. It's probably the fastest I've ever beaten a game. I feel like it. Maybe Arkham City. I think Arkham City I beat in a weekend. But man, Tunic was an absolute blast. It was a joy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The isometric feel, the fox, he's so cute. Just the enemy diversity, the puzzles, I had to look some things up just because I'm a dad. Ain't nobody got time for some of those things.
The Outriders.
So yeah, I just gotta do me. I gotta look up a guide sometimes, and no shame whatsoever. And no matter what you do to help you out in that, like, it's still a fun experience. Again, I just go back to, this is a one development man team, like Andrew Shoulder, I believe is his name,
he only brought in people for music, I believe.
Yeah, brought in composer, just some QA testers as well, but like for the most part, just a one man development team, and for it to be as good as it was, story wise, like I don't like you really have to dig for the story in the sense, like by finding the manual and stuff and putting the pieces together. But once you do, it's the story hits as well. Just the mechanic of you don't know much about this game until you find manual pages, like brings you back to the old NES style games, and having the manual there and being able to play the game because you have the manual, that type of thing. So really cool. And I'll tell you what, I watched the IGN speedrun of it just earlier tonight, and it annoys me about how many things that they do that I didn't know that I could do in the game. And and then some. Yeah, just a phenomenal game. Definitely check it out on Game Pass. It is worth your time, in my opinion. And so once I beat that, I was looking for another game to boot up. I think I kind of hit a wall of Outer Wilds. I still want to finish it, but I decided to pick up a different game, and that game was the Hitman trilogy. So Hitman 3, it's in Game Pass. You could download it, but you can play the original 2 Hitman from IO Interactive in Hitman 3. And so I went back to the Halo, the Hitman 1 campaign, and started that. And I don't know how long I'm going to stick with it. I'm not good at stealth games. I also feel like I don't have the patience for stealth games, but I'll tell you what, the uniqueness of what you can do to accomplish your assassination is mind-boggling. The amount of options that you have is tremendous. There's fun to it. There's excitement. And so I think that's what's going to keep me in. In the training mission, you had to do one of the training missions to become Agent 47, basically. And one of the ways that you could accomplish your goal was to subdue the person that was meeting your target change into that person's clothes and literally go meet your target as the person he was supposed to meet with and kill him there. It was awesome. I loved it. So I think I'm gonna stick with it. I know there's a lot of content there, and I also feel like it's like a drop in, get out type of game as well, like that type of feel. So I'm really excited to continue it. So, that's what I've been playing, listeners.
All right.
Let us know what you've been playing down in the comment section. Love to hear you guys. Let's get into the news. Activision Blizzard. I just wanted to mention this. We don't necessarily have to touch too much about this, but it's crazy that we're about to sing some praises of Activision Blizzard, which does not happen often. But Activision Blizzard is converting all temporary QA testers to full-time QA employees. Cicero, some quick nods to this awesome thing.
Yeah, I mean that's all, like listen, if you've ever been, well, hell, if you've been in the business and you know what that means, then this story doesn't need an explanation from me. But what that means for everybody else that doesn't understand is these guys get benefits, right? They get time off. They get PTO, they get options, right? Yeah. Like they get tuition reimbursement, like they get to be actual employees. And there's nothing worse than being a person that's not even a contractor, and it's just kind of like, you've got to punch a clock, and you're just they may not say that you are less than, but the feeling is, they might as well say it, right? Because the feeling is there. It's ever present. So the fact that they are now employees is, that's great for them. That is fantastic. The working conditions may still have a lot to be desired, but at least you can decide that if the work gets to be a little bit much, you can take a mental health day.
Yeah, That's really nice. Justin, anything quick to say?
When a company does something bad, a lot of people will shame them. And when a company does something good, they should get the same amount of praise. And I feel like this is a good step in the right direction. And it's crazy that we're praising something Activision Blizzard are doing, which is so amazing to say, because we've only heard bad things come from them. Yeah. And honestly, this is, it's employee retention. And that's what Microsoft wants with them. They want retention of their employees and their fans, and they want to fix that. I think that Activision and Blizzard are making a step in the right direction, and they deserve that.
Yeah. The rumblings that I've seen on Twitter is that QA testers just don't even get paid nearly as much as they should be for the amount of work that they put in.
Oh yeah.
And so this is just a testament to what is hopefully going to be seen as maybe a norm that happens throughout the industry. It's going to be a long while for it to be the normal, but at least this seems like a good first step where one of the biggest publishers in all of gaming is actually taking this step for their QA employees. So really good on Activision Blizzard. I really hope that the good things from this continue to happen. I do know that I think some of the lawsuits got settled and everything too. So I think the merger with Xbox is going to be happening, and I think some good things are going to be happening with Activision Blizzard. So, Cicero, this one's not really for you and me. I just threw it in there quick because we are recording on a Sunday, and a Sunday that will live in infamy for Kingdom Hearts fans, because Kingdom Hearts 4 has been announced. And so, Justin, I actually threw this in for you because you are, out of us three, you are the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan. And so you've played 3, I believe, and what does a Kingdom Hearts 4 mean to you?
When I woke up this morning, I checked my feeds and I saw this trailer, pop up and I was, oh, this is fan made, right? This is fake. This is something this is some fan little, April Fool's joke. They're late to the ball. They're gonna throw this out there, but then it turned out to be real. And when I saw the end roll of the logo for this game, Kingdom Hearts IV, I was so happy that it didn't have so many extra names attached to it. And also that I was going to be getting another Kingdom Hearts story that could possibly, if you look into rumors, have Star Wars in it. I'm excited, like a little schoolboy. Cannot wait for this game to come out. I enjoyed every moment that I played with 3 and the priors, and I feel like, Cam, wherever he is, has got to be jumping up and down right now.
He was freaking out today on Twitter.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
My girl doesn't play video games, but I showed her the trailer, and I was like, excited. When you get excited about something, you're excited no matter who's listening, and that's what happens.
So, question for you then: will this be the best Star Wars game you ever played?
No. I don't think so. If they have a world for Star Wars, cool, but no, Lego Star Wars. I was could possibly be a game of the year for me.
Wow,
it is up there.
All right,
so,
high praise.
Tunic is
very high praise.
Sidebar.
All right,
just wait for the next few seasons here coming. Could change.
Praise. All right.
Who knows? Listeners, that's been the news. Let us move on to our namesake. It is time to test your might.
You want to flip the hat? No. Okay.
I was just
you got the hood?
I forgot the hood. I don't have no hood. I have no hood on.
There's no hood on my sweatshirt.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right. So we are going to duke it out here. Gentlemen, in your Discord chat, I sent you a picture of the list of known developers that are partnering with Unreal 5. Unreal Engine 5. It is being used by a ton of developers. And so, your task is to choose a developer from that picture list that I sent you who you believe is the most exciting from this list. Now, you could take that argument whichever way you want. I will definitely just base my decision on what you argue. But certainly, let's start. Cicero, I think you won last. And I know it was against Sean, but I will still give you the power regardless.
Okay.
So, Cicero, what developer do you want to choose, or would you like to pass it, see what Justin chooses first?
All right. So are we just naming the developer, and then we're going to go on, and then...
No, I'm going to have you name the developer and then argue opening salvo.
Okay. So I am going to go first.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Duck.
No, you go ahead.
And I'm going to say that the developer is Devolver Digital.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is because you just don't know what you're going to get. But what you do know, what you can feel confident about, is it is going to be a version of a game that you have played before, but never quite like this. And it's going to be amazing. It's really going to stand up and make you pay attention to it.
Okay, so we got Devolver Digital for Cicero. Justin, what's your pick?
So, that's a good pick, Cicero. I like that pick. I'm going to go with a curveball and say CD Projekt Red.
Whoa.
And I feel like the reasoning behind that is because we do know what we're going to get, but we're not going to have to wait 10 years to get it, because Unreal Engine 5 is going to help them make it better and quicker than it would have without. And I feel like with Unreal Engine 5, we can bring CD Projekt Red back into the light and its glory days of The Witcher. And I feel like in the future with this new engine, we're going to see something Cyberpunk 2 released the way it's supposed to release, way quicker without all the delays. I feel like The Witcher 2, or The Witcher, what is it, 4 now?
4.
A 4 is going to be filled to the brim with stuff that's just going to blow our minds. With the show backing it, I think it's gonna destroy the other developers. But yeah, Devolver is a good choice. But I think we're better with a safer bet. Yeah, they have a bad past, but I feel like with this engine, they're gonna do the right thing.
Rebuttal, Cicero.
Well, first, thank you very much for confirming my choice. I really do agree with you that Devolver is a great choice. And you know, I mean, if you just sit back and you look at some of the games that they release, and you know, Mother Russia Bleeds, My Friend Pedro. I mean, these games are amazing. Hotline Miami, they're amazing games that you're like, oh, and they come from these small teams, but they all come out of one big house, and that's Devolver. And when you see that name, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to play, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. They've got an incredible track record, unlike CD Projekt Red, which had a great track record. But now they're 1 for 2. And to be fair, when The Witcher 3 was out at this particular point in its life cycle as Cyberpunk is, they were kind of 0 for 1 with respect to the last 2 games. They were kind of 0 for 1, and they were able to turn that around over the coming years, and that's something that I still believe will be how the story ends with Cyberpunk 2077 as well. So I'm not saying that they're 1 for 2. I think they will be 2 for 2, but and I do appreciate the fact that what you were saying about how they're going to use this engine to give themselves the tools that they need to finish these games and have them be more polished than they had been previously. I appreciate that answer, but we both know that that's not the truth. We both know that's not what's going to happen. We both know that what's going to happen is the ease with which the engine allows them to work is going to raise their ambition even that much further, and they're just going to try and break Unreal 5 in the same way that they've basically broken their own in-house engine. So you won't get the game any faster. You won't get Cyberpunk DLC any faster. You'll just get a much more ambitious, much more complex, equally as broken initial entries into your game franchises.
Rebuttal.
Now, I do think people do like the underdog story, right? So
sure,
and they love a comeback. They love a good comeback. Mm-hmm. When you look at Devolver, the biggest visual spectacle that I've heard or played from them was Shadow Warrior. Most of their games almost feel indie because of how their visual spectacle is. You've got Inscription, great game, great story, yeah. But then you've got, the newest West game that came out on Game Pass. Great game, but not a visual spectacle. You've got I'm sure you're happy about the Return to Monkey Island, but that's not a visual spectacle. And Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to be used for that side. They want that visual. They want the immersion. And I feel like CD Projekt Red with The Witcher and with Cyberpunk can do that. They can fill that world properly and make sure it works properly. I feel like it's going to really streamline a lot of their work and make sure that it's done the correct way the first time. And I think they've learned their lesson. And I think you do have to give them credit for fixing Cyberpunk, because they didn't have to. They could have left it to die, but they went back and they made sure that they got it out the way it was supposed to for the public. And that's something that's honorable. So I feel like with The Witcher, they're not going to do that. They're not going to start off from scratch in a bad place. They're going to release a finished product, and Unreal Engine 5 is going to be their key to fame and bringing back into the light. And I don't think Devolver is going to really bring that visual spectacle that everyone knows Unreal is good for.
Cicero, final rebuttal.
Yeah, so you know the difference between a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. They're both performance vehicles. They're both supercars. But a Lamborghini will get you in a straight line as fast as you can. A Ferrari will allow you to hit the curves and do those canyon runs like nobody's business. You're right. Right? You're right. Unreal 5 is going to take the visuals to heights that have not been seen in gaming. Absolutely. But that's not the only thing that it can do. In fact, like, sure, that's the thing that gets you in the door, but the thing that keeps you in the door is just how powerful the engine is. And that's where Devolver's really, that's where, like, they're the publishing house for those indie titles. And that's what makes them great, is exactly what I said. Like, I don't know what kind of game I'm going to get, but I do know that it's probably going to be good. And what they're going to use Unreal for is the tools, is the power of that engine to start to innovate in ways with their games that you haven't even thought of before, right? Because you're not using all of that power just for graphics. You're using the power for all sorts of things. You're using the engine to innovate. And that's why I'm most excited for Devolver's games coming out of Devolver for Unreal 5.
Final rebuttal, Justin.
You know, I like your analogies with cars. That's great.
Thank you.
You said it. You already sold it for me. You said what gets people in the door, right? The visuals. And Unreal Engine's going to do all those things. So it's going to do all those things for CD Projekt Red as well. You know, that's the same argument I could use. What I'm saying is the content of the games, the quality, the story. I feel like CD Projekt Red has more room to grow. You know, yeah, you could start implicating things here and there that we wouldn't see coming. But CD Projekt Red could use the Unreal Engine to only expand the universe that we already know and love and make it even better.
All right. Good arguments, fellas. Cicero got you on this one, Justin. I think his point of raised ambition of CD Projekt Red was really killer. And I think Devolver Digital has a good track record. Plus,
they don't miss.
Indie games are beautiful, so I don't know what you're talking about. Have you played Tunic? I know you have because you beat it.
Right,
anyway.
right.
All right. Gentlemen, we are moving on. Cicero, you keep the power. I'm going that way. I'm going that route today. So, Cicero, you're going to keep the power here.
Okay.
Choose if you would like to go first or second. This one's a fun one. Max Payne 1 and 2, two of my favorite games of all time, are getting remade. Remedy has made a partnership with Rockstar to remake those two games because Rockstar obviously owns the rights. And so, Cicero, I ask you, what should be the next great gameplay gimmick that Bullet Time was? Now, you could go first or second.
You know what, Justin, please. I cede the floor to you, my friend.
Appreciate it. Okay. This was a tough question. You know, Max Payne 1 and 2 were great games. So was 3. And they did implicate that bullet time aspect that everyone knows from The Matrix. So another trait or another gimmick from a game that I've played that I really enjoyed is destruction of the world in real time. So you're looking at what Battlefield does with buildings. You're playing with other people and you're like, you see that building in the distance? Let's go take it down. And you can knock that building over. I feel like, you know, only with the engine that is now available, Unreal Engine 5, this is a possibility. Not for just great spectacles of games, but also like Lego games. Like, I know we spoke previously about Godzilla in a Lego game. I think, Mike, you were the one who chose that.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to actually destroy buildings to the stud and see it visually taking place in front of you. That is the dream come true. And for adults, Battlefield has that little gimmick of building destruction and map destruction. You've got that already there. You have Red Faction, if you ever played that. You've got what was it, Gorilla was the one that I'm thinking of, and that you could literally take buildings down.
Gorilla.
Gorilla,
yeah. That visual spectacle could become something so huge with the engine now, with the technology that we have currently, and I feel like having the free reign to do that in any type of game, even GTA, would be insane. The amount of destruction that you could cause, yeah, sure, it's violence, but what catches your eye when you walk through a door, seeing someone blow up a building or, see something cute on the ground? Like, you're gonna literally pull in a crowd knowing that they can just destroy the environment at their free will.
Cicero, what you got?
All right, so I've got a question before I have an answer.
Yeah.
Were we talking specifically about a new gameplay gimmick in Max Payne, or just a new gameplay gimmick overall?
Overall, in general.
Overall.
Not Max Payne.
Oh, okay. So then the gameplay gimmick that I believe will take over gaming is spatial awareness. So being able to be attacked and to attack in 360 degrees, right? And in an entire sphere, because with the way new audio is, you're able to hear where the enemies are coming from. It's almost like a spider sense. Mm-hmm. You can hear where the enemies are coming from, and you'll be able to pinpoint their location and attack them where they are. That is the new gimmick, spatial awareness.
Is this only in VR, or is it? Can you?
No, we're gonna be able to do this in first person shooters.
Okay.
So we're gonna be able to do it in, you can do it in any game that is 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'll be able to do it. So even third person games, because of the way spatial awareness is, you'll be able to know that instinctively that the person is behind you and to the right, above you, or whatever.
Justin, expound and rebut.
So, the thing that, this yours does make sense for fans, for immersion levels. It makes great sense. I think the one flaw is mine is built into the game itself. Yours requires good headphones. So yeah, you can be playing a great game and hear great things if you have the money to get good headphones and have Dolby Atmos, like how I experience Hellblade and these other games. It's great for someone that can get those headphones, but mine is built into that game engine already. So as soon as you boot it up, you have access to that. You don't have to get another peripheral or a pair of headphones to save the experience. And that's really a big hit, so go ahead.
He believes it's a big hit. Great movie, great terrible movie, by the way. I love it. My personal favorite. Go watch The Big Hit. But so that is what he mentioned. That's what I heard was The Big Hit. That he's
the
a
movie?
fan also of The Big Hit, the movie.
All right, sounds good.
And not
Can we
and
get back
not
to video games?
and not that he hit me broadly, because what he missed was the fact that the platform, the console itself, is doing all of the heavy lifting for all of that audio stuff. So you don't need good headphones. You don't even need headphones. All you need to do is be able to hear the audio, because the audio is coming through already programmed to work the way that you need it to work. You don't need anything else. So it's right there for you. All you need is stereo. That's it. As long as you're broadcasting in stereo, everything else will work itself out.
So what you're stating is that your TV speakers that are on your TV are going to give you 3D spatial sound.
That is correct.
We are in Star Trek. Okay.
No, you know what? we're not in Star Trek, but we are in the 21st century. So if you have a TV that is capable of playing Xbox Series X games or Xbox Series X content because you've got an Xbox Series X, then 90% of those people will have televisions that will allow them to broadcast stereo sound. Not everybody has a stereo TV, but they should. Yeah. So, and because the decoding is done at the console and not based on the television, you've already got it. You know that it's there. Everything is going to work. So it is right there. It is no different than wearing a pair of $5 headphones. The audio will come through your speakers the same way it'll come through those cheap pairs of headphones, and you'll still be able to tell exactly where the person is coming from because it is programmed into the console.
All right. Well, a lot of good headphones only work because of noise canceling. So background noise coming from your Dolby Atmos speakers out of your TV would still cause some problems with that spatial sound. So I feel like the entry bar would be still set a little too high for everybody to enjoy, unlike All World Destruction, as mine is already implicated into the game and anyone who boots it up can experience it.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I guess it's cool that we're talking about a gimmick that's already existed for 20 years, but I get it. Like, we're talking about destruction because, not everybody's doing it, but people have done it. You just named like 6 games that are doing it. So I'm going to talk about something that people aren't really doing. So,
All right, I'll call it.
That's just me.
Cicero, you're kind of grasping at straws. I think Justin got you big with the peripherals.
The movie, the big hit.
Yeah, the big hit. I think it was too much to climb back to, because then you started saying, "Oh, you need to get the right TV. Oh, so I need to spend thousands more dollars."
No, you don't need to spend thousands more dollars. You need to just have a TV that was built in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I got a CRTV, so I can't experience that.
Right.
All right,
kids.
Justin.
That's a TV that has a yellow, a white, and a red little circle input on the front. And you usually watch VHS. Some of them have VHS player. VHS is a tape that you would put them
attached to them.
Yeah. All right, we can continue.
All right, thank you. Okay, Justin, you have the power. Next debate: Tony Hawk got a documentary on HBO Max. Go ahead and check it out. I have not finished it, but it is good. And in there, it talks about the games as well. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of debate what gaming franchise would you like to see a documentary for, and why would it be more compelling than your opponent's choice? So, Justin, you have the floor. You can give it over to Cicero, or you could start.
That's a great question. Next question. I have a feeling that my choice is going to be a little-known franchise from Bethesda called Elder Scrolls.
Oh, okay.
And go ahead, Cicero.
All right. Am I going ahead?
Sure, Cicero. That's fine. You can say your pick, and then we'll switch it back to Justin.
Okay, then my pick is going to be a little-known franchise out of Take-Two Studios called Grand Theft Auto.
All right, Elder Scrolls versus GTA. It is a match made in heaven. It is the argument that has always had its place in the zeitgeist of video gaming. Justin, Elder Scrolls, why do they deserve a documentary? First of all, what would you like to see in said documentary, and why would it be more compelling over GTA?
Low-key, I thought he was going to pick Fallout because that is kind of like the Bethesda fight of ages. But GTA is good. Elder Scrolls, if I could pick a documentary style, I would break it down into chapters based on each game. starting with the old point and click adventures, moving on to the 3D realm, and where they got ideas, the languages that were created for the games, the voice acting, the stories that were made to make these simple characters become amazing stories to tell and to achieve missions. I feel like where it all started, from drawings to everything coming to fruition, I feel like that would be a great thing to listen to for a lot of fans, just to know where did they come up with these languages. Like, I'm sure Klingon is something that it's studied in colleges from Star Trek, and I feel like there's so many languages from Elder Scrolls alone. Dragonborn is the most recent, and I feel that you create songs sung in a language that you create for a game. The immersion level and the creativity that goes into that, let's see where it comes from, and it's a great story to tell, I'm sure.
Go ahead, Cicero.
Yeah, well, I mean, what more is there to say when you're talking about a game that is as pervasive and kind of all-encompassing as the Grand Theft Auto series? I think that the documentary is just about the history of this game series, and then and in effect gaming at large, right? Like what gaming has become, and as a result of this series being around. I mean, we can get into the creation of the game, taking it and making it a 3D open world game in the way that they have, and how that fundamentally changed the landscape of gaming. But their connection to and participation and cooperation with Laszlo in creating the not the talk show, but curating all of the music, getting actual Hollywood talent to join in with the game and the creation of the game, starting with GTA 3 and going all the way through GTA 5, and then talking about GTA Online and how where they started in GTA 4 and how that grew from GTA 4 to what it is today, and how there is a game that has remained at the top of the charts that is 8 years old, 9 years old, going on 10 years old. It'll probably be over 10 years old before the next version of this game comes out. So I mean, this game is not just a franchise, it's an institution, and a proper documentary about it is really well worth everyone's time, especially if you love games.
Rebuttal, Justin.
I agree. I feel like people would love to see a GTA documentary based around all the franchise, from the old school games on the PC and the PlayStation, all the way to the newest of the franchise that's been around for almost a decade. And the jokes that are interwoven into the stories and the characters and the development, that would be great. There was a documentary that came out in 2020 called The $1 Billion Game, which was all about GTA 5 and how it's the top of the charts. So if you were to expand it onto another documentary about the entire franchise as a whole, that would work, because that movie, it was okay. It taught you some stuff, which is what documentaries are supposed to do. But we haven't gotten one of those for Elder Scrolls. We haven't gotten one of those, and Elder Scrolls has been around a very long time. And I feel like, yeah, you can take pop culture and jokes around society and make it into a satire, but to create something from scratch and make a documentary about it, that's why people love Star Wars documentaries. That's why Harry Potter has documentaries, because the creation element is where it's at. And I feel like everything being created from someone's mind would be insane to hear about. And I feel like that would do a lot better if they were to release it. Fans would go nuts over learning, the origin stories of this franchise they've been playing for years and has been re-released just as many times. and I feel like it would do better. I really do. I think that fans would like it more, and it would sell way more minutes of people watching for sure, to learn about the aspects of creation for this amazing world that they've grown to love.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I'm trying to reconcile the difference between saying that there was a game that's been out for 10 years and it's been at the top of the charts for 10 years, and that if there was a documentary made about one game's franchise, which is Elder Scrolls, which is a great game and great franchise, versus GTA, that more people would watch the Elder Scrolls franchise when far more people have bought and participated in just GTA 5 than all of the Elder Scrolls games combined. Is kind of silly for me to think about. Like, yeah, everybody, like, a full GTA documentary comes out. If people are going to watch documentaries, they're probably going to watch the GTA one, because that's the one that more people have engaged with in an interactive setting than Elder Scrolls. And while I do think that there is something to be said about how they came up with the creation of their characters, I wouldn't be so quick to laud them as like super innovative, creative folks, right? They just took fantasy stuff, right? Like, they didn't invent dragons or elves, right? Or vampires or werewolves or any of those things. They just added them to their games, and they have a great lore, and all of that stuff is great. Like, yeah, but they're not Tolkien, so it's not like they, it's almost as much a satire as GTA is a satire, in the fact, or at least it's an homage in the same way that GTA is an homage, right? Like, yes, GTA leans into heavy satire, but this is drawing from lots of other people's works and combining it in different ways, in the same way that Rockstar borrowed from lots of other people's works and reality to create the worlds of the GTA franchise. So I don't necessarily think that the guys over at Bethesda were more creative in that way, but they did accomplish great things and are worthy of a documentary, just not more worthy than the GTA guys.
I think it comes down to the fans. You do say, Grand Theft Auto is at the top of the charts, but who's playing it mainly, right? Not the adults, right? The kids get their hands. We played it already. The kids get their hands.
Yeah, we played it already. I bought the daggone game 3 times already. Yeah. Right? So
3 is an understatement for me.
Right. Right. So like,
but I've bought Skyrim just as much. I've bought it on every VR platform, and I've bought it on almost every system that it launched with. And I don't have a Samsung fridge, so I can't get that. But
but yes, yeah. But I get all of that stuff, but when it comes to dollars and cents, right? Like, if I'm a studio and I can only produce one documentary, right? And I think that's really the criteria. Right? You are coming to me and you're saying, hey, I've got these 2 documentaries and I need your money to produce one of them. Are you producing the Elder Scrolls documentary or the Grand Theft Auto documentary? And 100% of the time, the producer is going to give his money to the Grand Theft Auto documentary, because that is where the consumers are giving their money. 100% of the time. I don't care if that person he's got a Samsung fridge and he's playing Elder Scrolls on his fridge. If he wants to make money, he is giving his money to Grand Theft Auto, because that series prints money.
Justin, he's got you, buddy. I think that both of the documentaries would be incredibly compelling, but it is hard to argue with the numbers, the sheer numbers of GTA, and the angle that you guys took with that argument. I think Cicero's got you beat. All right, it's time for our blind fight, and this one's a fun one. Comes from yours truly.
All right.
No special.
So he's not
surprises
biased.
there. No,
He's not biased
at all.
about.
This is a good question, though. I think.
Okay.
One of my favorite horror film franchise is getting a prequel. Stephen King's It is getting a prequel series on HBO Max. And so, what video game franchise should get a prequel? Cicero, you won that last argument, so you have the power. This is a blind fight.
Is it a blind quick attack?
It is not. We have plenty of time to do a full-fledged Dukem.
Right.
You said horror video game or just video game?
No, just video game in general.
Just video
concept
game
of
in
a
general.
What video game franchise should get a prequel? Cicero, you are up first once again. You may choose to go first or second.
I'm going to choose to go first and really give this a shot.
All right. GTA.
Right.
Elder Scrolls.
Right. Yeah.
Just pick the same stuff, Cicero. We'll do it again.
And I'm going to go with Samus Origins. Metroid is the franchise.
Okay. Would you like to reconsider? I'm going to give you a reconsidering because they already have a prequel game called Zero Mission.
Oh, they do?
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
All right. Yeah. Well, because I'm
taking my strikes.
I am a graceful judge.
All right. Cool. Cool.
And so,
Yeah, all right.
would you like
Yeah,
to
that's all right.
reconsider?
Yeah. All right. I can reconsider. Oh man. Yeah. Let's see. Where can I go that will allow me to? Oh man. You know what? I trashed this. Trashed this franchise. Previously, let's give it a shot. Perfect Dark.
Okay.
Perfect Dark prequel.
All right. I am pretty sure they don't have a prequel. So, Justin, what is your choice? And then we'll swing it back to Cicero for his opening argument.
Could I go with Samus Origin? No. I'm going to go with... Oh, jeez, man. Silent Hill. I'm going horror because I just want another Silent Hill game, number one. But to see where the town came from, that's what I want to see.
Okay, Silent Hill, Perfect Dark. Right. Cicero, why does Perfect Dark need a prequel? Well, not need, but should get one.
Well, I mean, listen, Perfect Dark needs a game. They keep trying to tell us that Perfect Dark is an important franchise. So they need something that leads us to believe that, that they're correct. And a good way to do that is to look at the events from the first game and say, all right, well, where did this character come from? Where did we get Joanna Dark? How did she become good enough to become the lead in this particular game? And in the Perfect Dark series, give us the origin. Give us a young Joanna Dark who is either she a street rat that's kind of like doing her own thing, and she gets picked up by somebody and they train her, but she already had inherent skills, or was she like a prep school baddie that kind of just through the education wound up getting into the system and doing all the things and going she getting honors in agent school and became who she is. But like finding that out and being able to play as that person and like scuffing your knees a little and being able to overcome that would be a really great addition to that story, to give you a sense of who that character is, but also make you care about the character even more, especially since it's been so many years since we've had a game that made that character feel like they were worthy of being a franchise.
All right, Silent Hill.
So should we both lose because we both have prequels, or should we just continue the fight? Because I have Silent Hill Origins, and Cicero has Perfect Dark Zero, which is set before the original one.
It is?
It is, but it's not like... It's not
boy. Is this question not good?
It's not younger.
There's prequels.
Right. What's not good
just
is
need to choose better. My goodness, man.
Well, it's hard to choose a series that needs a prequel before we,
because every good series got one already.
Gets a prequel, right?
So do you want to restart?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and you could,
so much for this being a good question, Mike.
So much for this being a good podcast. Also, I think all the Metroid fans are gonna hate me because I think there's no prequel to that either. So you could have chosen Metroid. This is fun.
Wait, I thought Zero Mission was
no.
the
Zero
prequel.
Mission is a remake of the original Metroid, so it's not technically a okay. This is weird. Okay.
All right.
You did it.
I did it. I done did it.
The judge makes the rules. This whole podcast
win.
is messed up.
I do.
Right.
We love podcasting, guys. That's just how we do things. We just like to talk. And so I am literally looking up some news here to see if I could find something for us to debate.
Can I shed some light on the documentary about GTA from the last question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
So this $1 billion game movie was about the entire series and not just the fifth game, apparently.
Oh well.
Just saying. I accept defeat. I
I
accept defeat. But I'm just saying, I just read that it was about the entire series.
Just saying.
Which means we deserve our Elder Scrolls documentary fans.
Yes.
There you go.
That's true.
Or we could just give the moneymaker more money. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Redo it.
I mean, which again
It's possible.
which again is exactly what would happen, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no chance that if they had the choice between doing another GTA documentary or doing an Elder Scrolls documentary,
Yeah.
they would choose the Elder Scrolls documentary.
All right, guys, I have my choice
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
for backup question. And
All right, do you
we will be switching this to a quick attack.
All right. Now we don't have the time.
Did
Blind
you-
quick attack. And
Did you are we keeping everything as like, is this all going to go for the listeners, or are they going to
oh yeah.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
all
I
right.
kept it busy.
All right.
There was no.
We
it
we
was
bantered.
good.
There was no dead
All right.
silence. Okay.
Yeah.
There was no dead silence.
Yeah, I kept it going.
I don't know. All right.
All right, so listeners, this one is not necessarily a video game question, but it is related.
Oh, here we go again.
In honor of Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, what is the best Star Wars movie?
Oh
Cicero,
Oh.
you are first, and you have 1 minute on your timer. This is a quick attack. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not listened to this before, quick attack, you get 1 minute for your opening argument, and then you get 30 seconds for a rebuttal, and then 30 seconds for your closing argument. So Cicero, 1 minute on the clock starts when you start talking. What is the best Star Wars movie?
You don't always live happily ever after. This is a thing that I learned at a very, very young age. I believe I was 6 years old when I discovered that even though you went to see something that you love, you may not always love the outcome. And that was because I watched a movie called The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
It is the greatest Star Wars film that has ever been made.
20 more seconds? You got
how many more?
15 more seconds.
15 more seconds? Well, listen, there are things that happen there that let you know. This is when Star Wars became a franchise. Empire Strikes Back.
Right on the dots. All right, Justin. Clock starts when you talk, and Cicero chose Empire Strikes Back, the fifth movie, the fifth movie in the franchise.
Episode 5, the second.
Cicero also lied, by the way. He was not 6 years old. He was at least 27.
27, right?
Justin, what's the best Star Wars movie?
So I believe that I'm going to have to take a page out of Cicero's book here, and I'm going to have to go with A New Hope on this one. The fourth film for listeners and viewers alike. A New Hope. The first fourth film. Right. I feel like this was the beginning. This is what I started with, and most of the world started with, unless you're the New Age watchers. And I feel like you learned the characters very quickly. You saw the threat very, very quickly. And you got a good story along the way. You met lead characters that were going to touch your soul and remain in films into the future. And even before that, later on. Spoiler alert. And I feel like with those characters in the beginning of this saga, it took you and it held you. And that's why you went to see Revenge. That's why you went to see A New Hope.
Time. Stop talking.
Star Wars.
Cicero, 30 seconds of rebuttal.
Okay. If you watched A New Hope in 77 or 78, 79, 80, 81, or even today, you get a complete story. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if there were no other movies, you would have a satisfying story. The good guys win in the end. Everything is happy. But Empire created the universe. Empire needed more story. They left you with a cliffhanger.
Nope,
they needed you to come back.
Nope. Justin.
Now we're talking about A New Hope here, right? We're talking about the first movie that you saw, right, Cicero, when you were 20, 25. And this movie doesn't even need A New Hope attached to it because it's labeled as Star Wars on most cassettes and on my Laserdisc sitting above my head. This is the Star Wars. This was the beginning, and for most people, this is the end story. You get the entire Star Wars saga pretty much wrapped into this one film where they tried to pull from.
Done?
Done? Star Wars.
Wars of Star. All right, Cicero, 30-second closing argument.
My opponent would have you believe that one movie is a saga. It was an adventure, sure, but a saga pertains or pretends that there are more than one film. There's more than one thing, and that's where Empire comes in, and that's what gave you the 7 other films. It was not A New Hope, but it was Empire that led people to believe that you could do it again and again and again and again, and that's why we've got Star Wars that we know and love today.
Justin, final arguments.
A New Hope gave you life after death. You saw one of the leads that you came to grow and love in this one film alone die in front of your very eyes and come back as a spirit. You saw a great ending to a film instead of just seeing someone fly off in a ship and feel like it's not the ending of a story, that you're going to have to go back and see another one. The ending of this was complete. Like you said, a whole story wrapped into one film. That's why it's called Star Wars. That's why we started here. We started here, and it's the best film.
Star
Wars.
I will not take it. That was the best one into consideration of my arguments.
I said it before. It's okay.
Yeah, and that meant everything.
Oh man. My gut always is Empire Strikes Back as the best, and I think Cicero still got you on the argument. I'm not going unbiased here. I think that his big hit was too big for you to overcome. That Empire created the universe that we know and love. It was a complete story in A New Hope, and Cicero goes out 3-1. Justin, it was not your night, but Cicero got you. You duked it up. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. We had fun, though. Thank you, listeners, for sitting tight while we had that prequel debacle.
Way to choose my favorite movie, Cicero.
There you go. Hey.
Shout out to Rogue One. Just saying.
Yes,
Shout
because
out
it really was a choice between Empire and Rogue One for me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Listeners, in honor,
The argument would have been the same.
the leaderboard section where we choose the top 5 of a certain topic, and in honor of Lego Star Wars, once again, we are going to talk about the franchises that need Lego games. And so, Justin, what are your top 3?
Number 1, James Bond.
Ooh, all the Bond movies are going on to Amazon Prime, and I'm stoked. Gonna watch them all.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm tired of buying them on different disc qualities. Terminator, great saga.
Ooh, yeah.
And now, with the new shooting gameplay that was introduced with the newest entry in the franchise, I feel like Terminator would do great, and also John Wick would do amazing with the new shooting elements.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
It would not be family friendly.
Very adult-oriented franchises here.
All these franchises I chose have guns.
Yeah.
And characters. That's what matters.
I'll be back to you. Cicero, you're next.
I'm gonna go with a series that has lots of stuff to draw from, and that is Fast and Furious.
We here at the Test Your Might with family.
Yes, we're family.
All right, fam. What's your second choice?
Right. My second choice will be the Home Alone series.
Ooh, nice.
Including the new one?
Oh, yeah, right. Because even the terrible stuff can make great Lego games.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they've proved it, apparently, with the new Star Wars.
Right.
That's what people are saying. I enjoyed the newest trilogy, but people are saying that they made it much better with Lego.
Meh. Force Awakens. All right, cool.
That's A New Hope, which is the best.
Yeah,
Star
which
Wars movie.
is a good story. All right.
And the third series that needs a Lego game, third franchise that needs a Lego game, Zelda.
Okay, so choosing a video game franchise, I like it.
Yes.
It's a good one.
All right, so you know it. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, I didn't steal it from you.
Goonies.
I wanted to.
One film?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need with the Goonies, man.
That's all
Come
you
on.
need. Yeah, there's so much adventure.
It's a
there.
franchise.
Right? It's a franchise of one movie.
I'm going.
There was 2 games.
I'm going Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles next.
Okay.
And finally, the one that makes in my opinion, the most sense out of anything that we have suggested. Transformers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Transformers, they're robots in disguise.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, I told you I'd be back to you. What's your guarantee here?
I'm going to go with Terminator because I feel like that one is something that deserves it. It's got characters, it's got story, and I feel like it would do a great job.
All right. Cicero, are you going with the franchise where there is no family, or the one that is only family?
I think I go Fast and Furious because there's so much to choose from, right? Like there's so many shenanigans that they can get involved with.
Oh man, I am 100% going Goonies because I think I could argue for Transformers. So Goonies is on the list.
Right.
All right, we need two more. Yeah.
Personally, I'm Home Alone Transformers out of this list.
You don't want James Bond?
I do, but like I could see a Home Alone and a Transformers game being made, Lego games being made,
both
well before.
I think all three of them have Lego sets currently. I believe so. But the difference, like Home Alone is great, but the characters, there's not a vast array of characters. So I think that's where it's going to flaw.
Oh no!
Like,
what are you talking about? You got the wet bandits trying to capture you.
You've got like 20, 25 characters, right?
Oh, that you can like switch to,
literally,
and play as.
So like when it comes to Transformers, you have vehicles, you have characters, you have a mass amount of things. I'm down with that. I think it would work great for the franchise.
So we're all in
as
agreement for Transformers. We're putting that as number 4.
Yes.
And also, I feel James Bond. Think of the amount of characters that you have from every film.
Right.
Yeah, you have the classic Bonds, which are the main characters you would play as, but then all the villains, all the side pieces, all the set pieces. I think it. You know,
side pieces.
The side pieces.
Well, they are. I mean, they are side pieces.
Technically,
yeah, they kind of are. Yeah.
I'm not going to say titles of movies, but yes.
That was the wrong choice of words.
That's why we have a quack button. But like the Transformers and the Fast and Furious, great. You're racing, you're getting the car aspect, you're driving. You know, that's great. Imagine being able to release oil slick or rockets out of your Lego car while you're driving, taking villains down, or the classic GoldenEye down the ski resort, or is that World's Not Enough? Going down the ski resort and by the oil line, skiing and firing stuff. Oh, come on, Legify that, make it kid friendly.
Yeah, I could also argue the Home Alone house and going through all of those different things as Kevin or his brothers, or even as one of the wet bandits, or the old man that lived next door that was really scary, or his son, or his kid, the little redheaded girl, right? You know, all of those things could have been done. You could be Kevin's mom, and doing that stuff. Him being lost in New York and going to FAO Schwartz, and yeah, man, I think you could be the pigeon lady. Oh man, imagine being the pigeon lady.
I do agree. The second Home Alone would have a vast array of locations, but when it comes to the first and the newest, you're literally stuck at a house, and I don't think the amount of abilities would really work well with the gameplay that Lego games hit. I feel like with James Bond, you have all the gadgets and the guns and the different, weapons that bosses use against you. I think it would.
Yeah, you got weapons. That ain't kid friendly. Okay.
You got Transformers in there.
Just thinking about James Bond and Home Alone, just between those two,
right?
Neither of them have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, like this, just the TMNT just makes sense as well. You're talking a vast character selection. You have Pizza. I mean, you have Master Splinter. You have Shredder as the villain. You have that built into the story. April O'Neil. You got all those guys. I think TMNT would be good as well.
Mike, do you know the difference between driving a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, and then also a pizza mobile? There's a difference there.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, one's family friendly for sure.
Yeah.
But I think James Bond just hits it. Like, can you imagine going through the stories of James Bond with all the different characters and collectibles and gadgets and cars with weapons? It would translate so well.
I think the Turtles have I think the Turtles have a little bit more over Home Alone. Like, I think Home Alone has
I agree with that.
Some things going for it.
Right.
But I think the Turtles definitely have the edge as far as what a Lego game is and what a Lego game needs. And I also think I also think it's above James Bond. Like, I think that it would be more fun to play 4-player co-op with the 4 turtles versus
you did it right there.
Versus the
you did it. That's it for me.
But that's a beat 'em up then.
Of the same character.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Every single Lego game is a beat 'em up, Justin.
Yeah.
You've played every single Lego game.
Not a 4-player beat 'em up. That's just too crazy. You know, they can't even do co-op online. They struggling to get that up.
That is true. That is true.
You know, they've got split screen couch potato for 1 and 2 people. That's what you get. You got James Bond and then James Bond's partner during most of the films.
007?
You have 007.
Right, it's you and Q.
You have Daniel Craig and you have Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
No, I'm talking about sure. The other James Bond, sure. I meant in each film. You always have like a person that's with you, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys?
We gave you Transformers, man.
Man. You know what? I'll go with Justin, James Bond. You know. Yeah.
There
James
we go.
Bond. Let's get out of here. Get me out of here, Chewie.
Dang it! I wanted the clean sweep.
It's called Beam Me Up, Scotty. Okay.
Yeah. You can't always get what you want.
Franchises that need Lego games. We got the most family friendly of them all: Terminator, Fast and Furious. We have Goonies. We have Transformers and James Bond. Well, listeners, that has been our show. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 100 subscribers on our channel there. And guys, we are rebranding. And so stay tuned for all those news, all those announcements that are happening within the coming weeks, because the very first episode under the rebrand of Test Your Might will be May 3rd. So stay tuned. We got a lot in store. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
May 3rd? May 1st?
May 1st is when we record. May 3rd is when it will.
Oh, that's true. Yes, that is true. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys can stick around on May 1st and just wonder what is happening.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, just a little callback to our last episode. Without further ado, my name is Mike. That is Cicero. That is Justin. This has been Test Your Might 69, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
You're such a child.
Yeah. No, just because I'm laughing. All right.
Right. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Mike.
Oh.
Hey, at least I wasn't 25 when Star Wars came out.
Hey, I stayed 25 for a long time. All right.